Tomorrow marks a decade since the death of Jason Simcakoski. The Stevens Point Marine lost his life after being overprescribed opioids at the Tomah VA.
7 Investigates' Emily Davies explains how his family's persistence has led to drastic changes in how opioids are prescribed throughout the country.
As years march on, life grows around grief.
The most that I would miss would be his laugh. He had this crazy laugh.
But the love and loss of Jason are forever stationed within the Simcakoskis, including his daughter, Anaya.
She has chosen to go into the healthcare field because of what her father went through. She does hope to work at a VA one day.
I talk to him every day. I miss that, it was like kind of a hole left in my heart, after he died.
The toxicology report stated it was a mix of more than a dozen medications the VA prescribed that killed Jason. Year after year, the Simcakoski family has graciously welcomed our cameras and questions into their homes, reliving one of the biggest tragedies in their lives.
He kept going there because he kept saying, "No, I'm a Marine, that's a VA, they're going to help me."
He's embarrassed of how his life changed so much, so he just didn't want that life for Anaya.
Why do you put someone with an addiction to pain meds on pain meds? I would like one of these doctors to tell me how mixing all of these drugs they had Jason on was going to do him any good.
Sharing their heartache, anger, and hope with purpose. Jason made efforts to sound the alarm before his death. His family kept it ringing.
For months and months after Jason passed away, there was no discussion of change. It was pretty much, we're sorry for your loss, and everyone kind of moved on. And it wasn't until there were events like this and kind of woke people up.
What was outrageous, the Inspector General had been actually looking at this issue since 2011.
The story I heard is troubling.
The VA's prescribing practices and over-reliance on opioids has resulted in getting our veterans hooked rather than getting them help.
I am the one who blew the whistle on the alarming irregularities concerning unethical practice at the Tomah Veterans Affairs Medical Center. We heard about a culture of fear and a culture of retaliation. You certainly can't provide, world best class quality care to veterans if you have that kind of, sentiment running around your facilities.
So the Office of Inspector General under Richard Griffin was loyal to the VA instead of being loyal to the finest among us.
I own those problems, those failures. I reviewed hundreds and hundreds of pages of evidence. And I would tell you, not doing something about this would be very consistent with the pattern of behavior that I saw there. It was a failure of leadership. Should not have happened.
Those tireless pursuits resulted in a package of bills becoming Jason's law in 2016.
We will meet that challenge to make sure that we don't just have excellent care at many of our facilities for pain management, but that we have it at all facilities.
We're trying to change the thought process here.
And they did. It changed how doctors prescribe opioids beyond the walls of VA facilities.
There's a few veterans that complained and said, well, you're taking away our meds and that. My reply is, no, I'm saving your life.
The VA's latest report tracking its opioid prescribing practices says between 2012 and 2023, it has reduced its overall prescribing of opioids generally by 2/3. The VA implemented non-medicated therapies into its care. The Simcakoski's Foundation took over the medical center's golf course, making it a free therapy course for patients in 2019. It's a reminder like that of a memorial that hangs inside the VA's halls. Now, a bipartisan-backed bill by the Wisconsin congressional delegation hopes to preserve that reminder by having the center itself take his name.
When people walk through those halls, whether it's a veteran or whether it's a healthcare worker, and just to remind them of what their mission is.
I know he's proud of what's happening right now. I know he's got his fingers crossed up there too, and hoping this whole thing goes through.
The bill has not moved much since being introduced at the beginning of the year. Despite the bill's future, the Simcakoskis say they're not done applying Jason's legacy.
Now, coming up tomorrow on News Channel 7, Emily talks with lawmakers about what still needs to be done and how the Simcakoski family is continuing to be part of the solution.